My biggest mirror has been my son. It's not an actual mirror, but my biggest mirror has been my son. He's been my reflection. The way in which he carries himself, the way he responds, even the sense of humor he has. I've realized that everything that he gets, he has learned from me and the people that he's around the most. And I think it's the craziest thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with you, just remember you're special. Feeling hopeless and alone, just remember there's always God there to be there to help you. Put in effort, make mistakes, no one on this earth is perfect. Trial and tribulations both in life are guaranteed, but in the end it's all worth it. I'm hoping and I'm praying this is something relatable and the words are beneficial when someone out there can understand what I'm saying. Mind, muscle, motivation. Let's stop playing. Share it with the nation.
Welcome. Mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Again, that's the mind, the muscle, and the spirit motivation. Listen, I always thought going in hindsight with the decisions that I made in the past, trying to correct those decisions would help me make better decisions in the future. But having a son, I'm now realizing, is steering me in a better pathway to the man that I want to become. Again, having a son is steering me in a better pathway to becoming a better man that I wish to become. And I see that because I'm seeing myself in him. I know that he's only 3. I get that. He still has a lot of learning to do. He still has to figure out himself and his emotions. But with me being around him every single day, I'm around him more than anybody and everybody. And I thank God for that. Because I know there's plenty of dads who would pray and wish and do anything to be in my position. So I know how blessed I am. But I'm around him more than everybody. I don't even have a Southern dialect, but the way that I play around, like yesterday, I don't say yesterday, I say yesterday, and he'll be talking. Oh, Lord. He'll be talking and he'll say yesterday, or I'll play around and I say, instead of Merry Christmas, I'll say Merry Christmas, or the little facial expressions that I make, he makes. It's just crazy. I always knew that little kids and little toddlers was a sponge. I always knew that. I knew that based on my experience with my little niece. But when you have a child that is with you every single day, it's just like being around somebody, even as an adult. You learn their ways when you're around them every single day. And even without noticing, completely oblivious, you start doing what they do. It is the biggest truth that I never really knew. And I know that now because of my son. And I believe, even already at the age of 3, I believe that if you want to know how you truly are, don't ask people because they were sugar-coated, because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Very few people will truly tell you how you are. But if you really want to know how you are as a person, as a young man, have a son. I'm telling you, I respond a lot of times in a smart-mouthed way. For example, if you ask me where the control is, sometimes I'll answer, I don't know. What does my son do? I'll ask him where the control is. I don't know. Or I'll say, or say somebody asks where the control is, and I'm just like, it's right in front of you. My son, he'll say the same thing. It's just little stuff like that. For the parents out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. And for the non-parents out there who may be watching or listening to this, try to understand. A mirror doesn't do its justice if you really want to know a reflection of yourself. And with the looks, I'm starting to see myself too, but as far as personality, how he responds, the temperament, the lack of patience. Again, I know he's only 3. He throws his tantrums already. All that. It just happens as uh, having a baby. I get all that, but I know me. I'm mature enough to say the things that I lack, and I'm mature enough to say the things that I'm fairly good at. I'm not great at anything. But the biggest reflection that I've ever had is my son. And it is completely crazy. Anybody and everybody who is a subscriber of mine, anybody and everybody who has came across my presence, you will all agree that I just want to get better. And never have I and never will I say I'm the best at anything. But it's just so crazy how I do believe I have favor with God, even with the things that I struggle with, even with the health, all that. I don't care. I believe I have favor with God. And it's just so crazy how, for me, having a son, God knew that me having a son is going to be just another step for me to become better. And just because I have a son, it doesn't mean anything. I'm only saying that because for the young men out there who want to get better, having a son isn't going to make you become better. That's a choice. That's a decision. Because there's plenty of young dads out there who aren't dads. They created a son, but they're not even there. So I'm not saying having a son is going to be what you need to get you to have a reflection of yourself and to be able to really see what kind of person you are to better yourself. That's not going to come automatically. Again, it's a decision you have to make. And I see my son, I see myself through my son, and I'm making the conscious decision to become better. Because again, he's only 3. So another 3 years, God spares my life and his. That's 6, and then that's 9, and then that's 12, that's 15, that's 18. I need to become better, because if he sees me as an influence, as the biggest male influence, I want him to see me in a good way, in a positive way. No, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm still going to lack in a lot of things, in a lot of areas, but I want to be as solid as I possibly can be. As solid as I possibly can be. Again, and I know I'm not going to be perfect. I say booty a lot. So what does he say? He says booty a lot. Oh, Lord, have mercy. So I think it's humbling. It's very humbling. Because another thing I do, I walk around my shirt off. I work out all the time. So he wants to work out all the time. And it's really opening up my eyes because I don't do much. I even make videos. So he goes to the room and I hear him, he's only 3, so he doesn't fully talk right. And I hear him just talking that gibberish in front of his, his phone. It's not a real working phone, but he'll have it on the recording and he'll be doing that. And then I've even shared some videos on here where he's working out, and even his competitive nature that I see him have. I'm not taking full credit because, he does have his mom, but just the little things that I know in me, I see in him. So I say it's humbling because I don't do much. But I see how much I work out because of how much he wants to work out and how much he tries to work out. And I see him doing this. So, it's just opening up my eyes because, I want to do more with my life. And I know that's kind of hard because, I gotta be at home with him. I have to watch him. I have to take care of him. But, and then he likes to have his shirt off flexing his muscles. I don't like that because I don't want that to be what he gets from me, because that's not what I'm consciously doing. Like, I'm not really literally trying to walk around and flex my muscles. So, I mean, that is something that I laughed at first, but after a while, I'm just like, why are you doing that? And then when he looks at people, I know I don't smile a lot. I smile a lot at him, but at other people, I'm just going on about my business. I just got my focused face. So I noticed during his soccer games, he'll look around at people, and it's like he's mad dogging people. And I'm asking his mom, I'm asking his granddad, both his grandmom. I'm just asking everybody, like, why is he doing that? And kids, they get everything from someone because they're still learning. So I'm taking a real hard look in the mirror through my son. And, I pray about everything, people. I pray how I can get better. Um, I'm really hard on myself every day. I'm trying to be my best self. And my son is a very big leap that God gave me to bettering myself. And there's still a lot of things that I can better myself that he doesn't know about. But just the little things like that I mentioned, it's it's humbling, and then it's encouraging as well. It's not something to condemn yourself about. It's not something that I'm condemning myself about, but it just gives me more to do in life. It just gives me more to better myself with. And I think that's very encouraging because, again, I'm not just one of those individuals who's just trying to get by. I'm not one of those individuals who just gets out of bed one day and I'm just like, just dreading it. I try to get out of bed every single day with determination and dedication. And my son, he, second to just becoming a better man of faith, he's right there. So, the homies out there, the young men, having a son, if you're anything like me and you really, really want to become better, you will see yourself through your son. And if your son is doing a lot of things that you do not like, yes, he has other influences, but if you are like me and you're with him more than everybody, just know you may not want to admit it. And it's hard to admit, and it's hard to realize. And sometimes you just do not want to realize, but he's getting a lot of stuff from you. And if it's things that you don't want him doing, then you have to stop. If it's things that he's saying that you don't want him to say, you got to watch what you say. You got to watch how you speak. If it's attitude, you got to really ask yourself, how good or how bad is your attitude? I know we as parents, I know we tend to scold our kids a lot. We tend to condemn them for a lot of things that they do, but a lot of things that they do, they get from us. And it can be a habit. And a lot of times they don't even realize why they do what they do, but they get exposed to the same stuff over and over every single day, and it's through us. And I'm so glad, Lord have mercy. And he says that a lot too, but I'm so glad that I'm realizing this now because, again, he's only 3. And every day I ask God to spare my life, his mom, his grandparents, his cousins, nieces, nephews, all that, uncles, everybody, because I want to better myself so we can all see what type of person he is. And this isn't about taking credit, when he becomes the person that he becomes, and it's going to be somebody great. I'm speaking that over his life through belief and faith. I don't want to better myself just to take all the credit, because I'm not taking credit for anything. I know I mentioned his competitiveness and his already athletic capability. I'm not taking credit for nothing. I'm always going to stand in the back and watch and cheer him on. I'm always going to be the one standing in the back. Always, because that's me. But having him in my life and having the opportunity to be his dad, knowing that God chose me to watch over him and to be that influence, is something that I take pride in. And I haven't been able to really fully realize that because I don't have much time to be away from him, to think about how it is when I'm with him. I don't have much time away from him just to stop and think about the day. But days like this, when he's not here and I'm home alone and I'm able to make this video and I'm able to speak and get things off my chest that's not rehearsed, yeah, I take complete pride in what I do, because what I do is what he also does. And I just want to make sure everything that I do is going to be something that is good. Nothing I do is going to be great, but I just want to make sure that most of the things that I do are good. And so can you, people. Mind, muscle, spirit, motivation, like, share, subscribe. I'm telling you, even moms out there, having a daughter, having the same gender child as you is going to reveal a lot of you in them. It's a very humbling experience. It can be scary, it can be disappointing, and it can be flattering. But just know that all the decisions that you make are going to be what they make, and it's going to be who and what they become. So make it good. Make it good. Until next time, y'all, we out. Peace.